Hello, my name is Prime, and welcome back to ATS Showcases, and welcome back to the Louisiana DLC for ATS. And today we are going to be exploring Avery Island, a beautiful area of Louisiana, and the manufacturing spot of a very famous hot sauce in real life. And here in American Truck Simulator, the in-game brand of Flavor Fare occupies this location with their jalapeno facility. So today's journey will take us from here just outside of Lafayette once again, actually not too far west from where we started in the first look video, and we will be heading up to New Orleans today, mainly consisting of highway driving. But first, we have a beautiful facility to explore here in the Louisiana DLC. So without further ado, let's get our 5th gen Freightliner Cascadia started up and get exploring Avery Island. Now, as I am recording this video on an early access version of the Louisiana DLC, I am not using any third-party modifications within this video. Everything you hear and see is American Truck Simulator and official DLC content through and through. All right, let's get rolling, and more specifically, let's get exploring here at the jalapeno facility for Flavor Fare, the in-game version of Tabasco, here in the Louisiana DLC. Once again, a huge thank you to SCS Software for giving me early access to the Louisiana DLC, and this is a beautiful facility here in the region, and one that, well, there'll be plenty of materials coming in and out. There's a main manufacturing and warehousing section back here, and then a beautiful scenic area around with plenty of vegetation, at least according to the screenshots and what I'm witnessing here. Well, a lot to explore. So let's kind of take a tour around here in the main entryway and see what we can get. Obviously, a very, very popular location, and I believe one that has, well, quite a bit of tourist attraction as well, given the historical significance of the facility and, of course, the beautiful region around it. I believe it's built on a salt dome, which is why it's a very, very, well, interesting location in terms of different vegetation and so on, but also a great location for the production of hot sauces, and also the reason why we are just west of the salt mine that we delivered, or we hauled salt from in the first look episode. And I must say a huge thank you to everyone who has been enjoying the first look video, watching it, sharing it around. Huge thank you for all the support here on that video. It is incredible to see, and of course, I'm glad everyone is just so excited to explore the Louisiana DLC, releasing on December 4th, 2025, so not too far away, my friends. So a nice little visitor center basically here, main entryway of the facility, and I'm gonna ride up on the grass there a little bit because the tour bus was sort of in my way. So let's head back out and around here and explore a little bit more of this facility, because there's a couple extra roads that go around here, and potentially some hidden roads around here as well, because when I came to the facility here today, I noticed a couple road signs that said gardens pointing towards it. And actually, we're gonna head back along this road here. I saw a couple signs pointing towards gardens, so we're gonna see where that actually goes, if it goes anywhere. I really hope it does, because I love the little hidden areas of these map DLCs, and I think this is a nice little gem of a facility. So as I said, this is where most of your contracts will most likely end up, and I do believe you can actually potentially dump stuff at that little pit there. If you're hauling grain here, for example. It is a Flavor Fare facility after all, so it's a little bit more general purpose, but there are some unique things coming out of here today. We're just hauling packaged goods formally in today's video up to another Flavor Fare facility in New Orleans. So we're basically classing it as we're hauling hot sauce out of this facility to another distribution hub, or wherever that facility actually is. I don't actually know exactly what it is, to be honest with you. But let's head up around this way. Look at the trees and the vegetation around here. What a beautiful custom depot. Because at the end of the day, Avery Island here is basically just a massive custom depot, from what I can tell, that, well, doubles as a nice scenic tourist spot as well in ATS. So, you know what? We'll take it. We will take it any day. So we're going to go left. Even though it says exit that way, I believe one of these signs say gardens. So we're going up this way because I want to explore some of the gardens. If not, we'll just continue around on this road. If I can't veer off this this road, we'll just do a big old loop around if that's the case. So what does that sign say there? Is that the one that says gardens? It does. That's what I like to see. So let's please hope, fingers crossed, that we can actually go this way. That would be absolutely fantastic. Don't hit a barrier, don't hit a barrier, don't hit a barrier. Well, promising hidden road unlocked. Oh, this is a beautiful sight on the GPS, my friends. And I will admit, I guess, spoiler warning for anyone who, you know, doesn't want to see what we're about to explore here at this facility. Go ahead and skip ahead using the chapters below to where the main delivery picks up, just in case you do want to see what's past this fence right here. All right, so let's go around the big old tree in the middle. I don't know how old some of these trees must be, but they are absolutely stunning. Beautiful gardens here on Avery Island. In Avery Island? On Avery Island is probably the best way to say it. we're gonna go on Avery Island. I don't even know if this is technically an island, to be honest with you, or if it's just a name for. We can't enter that way. Okay, or if it's just the general name of it. I mean, there's so much water around here in Louisiana. Surely it is kind of ish an island. Don't feed the gators. Well, I wasn't planning on it. So don't worry about that. As long as they don't attack my trailer with all this packaged food in it, I think we're probably fine, even though an alligator can't get into it. But you know what? If they're that desperate, maybe they could. They could, but you know, we're gonna just run with it. Oh, there's some people getting some beautiful photos. What a lovely area here. Absolutely stunning indeed. Thank you, game, for putting me inside my truck when I'm trying to look exterior. Oh, cinematic cam. You gotta love it. So I think, I mean, technically we might as well do the full loop around, eh? Let's keep going. Oh, there's my Canadian for you. There's my Canadian for you. It doesn't make an appearance too often, I don't think, but you know what? There it is, nice front and center. Regardless, got some water coming through here. Beautiful, beautiful scenery in the gardens. See, it's these kind of details that, you know what, aren't overly important in terms of the logistics chain, shall we say, of American Truck Simulator, but incredibly important for the atmosphere of a map DLC in American Truck Simulator. And this is what I love so much about the DLCs, these hidden roads, which albeit I normally can't find. And they're few and far between for, well, they're actually more prevalent than I'll admit that I can find. But you know, they're just nice little touches, and SES Software puts a lot of effort into these areas as well. And you know what? You just gotta kind of take them as you can find them. And I am so happy I was able to find this through here with the signs. And I was, to be honest, based off of the screenshots that came out of the blog post about this particular area, it became very clear that there must have been, you know, some extra gardens or something out of here. And that's where I was looking for it, because when I arrived, there wasn't really anything around that resembled the screenshots where the trucks were in the screenshot. So I figured there was something. And sure enough, we're discovering it right now. What a beautiful area indeed. I think there is still some more here in the center, which maybe this circles around. I don't really know. Could ask the lawn crew there. Looks like his mower died or something. Getting a ride from a coworker. Be a lot of yard to maintain here. A lot of property. Sure, there's full-on crews that are just dedicated to maintaining the beauty of this area. Obviously, if it is open to the public for scenic purposes, that would make a ton of sense. Oh, okay, so basically where we could have just gone straight through there would probably connect up over in this side, by the looks of it over there, maybe? Potentially. Oh, that's neat. Oh, and there's a big old flower arch. Well, how neat is this? SE Software has done a wonderful job here in Louisiana. There is no doubt about it. And yeah, it's these it's these paths through here that just really take these DLCs to another level. And if you're watching this trying to decide if you want to pick up the Louisiana DLC whenever it releases, well, keep this in mind. Keep this type of detail in mind, the vegetation, the different opportunity for exploration, regardless of completing contracts. You can just come through here, drive your truck around, and just find all the little hidden gems of the Louisiana DLC because, well, based off of this, I'm sure there's plenty of them. I probably won't be able to figure them all out. I'll be completely honest with you there. I'm not normally the best at finding hidden roads around the map, but I know there are a lot of others that are fantastic at doing so, and a lot of you who watch my videos are a lot better at it than I am. So to that end, I say good luck, and let's get on the main journey here outside the facility and head to New Orleans. So back on the highway here, let's get rolling. Once again, a huge thank you to everyone who has been supporting the first look of the Louisiana DLC, the video I just put out the other day. Thank you so much for that. What an incredible video it was, and hopefully you enjoy this video just as much. It is truly stunning, the DLC. Once again, there is no other way I can describe it other than that. STS Software keeps raising the bar time and time again with these map DLCs, and this is no different. As you've just seen, for those who watched that segment, incredible scenery throughout Avery Island, and just the fact that it's included is enough for me to say just fantastic. That facility could have been just sat where it was, and its beauty that it is in that general region. It could have been just there, no worries at all, and we could deliver to it, take deliveries from it, but the extra details that surround it wouldn't have had to be there. But STS Software included it for a very important reason. It is incredibly important for the overall atmosphere of the map and, of course, the realism of the map as well. Besides some other, viewpoint or other photo opportunity metrics for the game, there's just that extra touch or extra spice, shall we say, not to be too on point. That little extra spice it adds to the map is true, and it's something that I have to appreciate of the Louisiana DLC and all new DLCs here coming out of STS Software for ATS, ETS2 respectively. They are truly stunning, and I hope you're watching this and enjoying the Louisiana DLC so far, and hopefully you're very excited for the DLC to release. And if not, well, hopefully it grows on you. That's all I'm gonna say, because if I were you, I'd be very excited for Louisiana to come out. And I know many of you are from Louisiana itself, or at least familiar with the region. And I know many of you are very excited to be exploring your hometowns, or at least home regions, shall we say, within the state. Thank you to everyone who has put some extra information about the state itself in the first look video, and also let me know otherwise leading up to the release itself. And oh, there's a train coming through here. So we're going to try to make the left, but end up kind of taking across a few lanes. So we're just going to get it as far through as possible. Luckily, no one can come the other way anyways, because there's a train. So you know what? It works. Let's see, get the traffic rolling. I do appreciate everyone who has been putting little tidbits in, little bits of information, or helpful hints or corrections if it may come to that. I do appreciate it. Again, I am learning about this region just as much as many of you are, and I do appreciate all the help I can get, whether it's on pronunciation or just little bits of history about certain areas. Your take on how realistic some of these areas look, that is a big thing, and as we go through these early access videos and other videos alike once the full release comes out, please keep on top of this, letting me know of how realistic some of these areas are. I love to see it, and I love to kind of get that picture, shall I say, of, well, how realistic is it truly? Well, we got to get on the highway to Lafayette, and from here on out, we're pretty much highway cruising all the way into New Orleans, which is a nice contrary to our first look video that I just did, whereas mainly the more back roads, or at least smaller roads, not as high capacity, it's nice to be able to do a nice comparison there, shall we say. Again, lower capacity versus higher capacity roads, and see what's all along it. We'll get to see some, well, different infrastructure along here, which is great, and be able to just cruise along and talk about Louisiana and American Truck Simulator itself. There is a lot to look forward here with American Truck Simulator. Obviously, the, well, elephant in the room is Louisiana and the fact that we're here on early access, which is just incredible. It's been a long time coming, it feels, and it's great to have Louisiana, well, finally here, technically. And for many of you watching this video, maybe you're watching this after release date, and, well, it is then available for you to pick up if you haven't done so already. But here on early access, it's nice to have my hands on it and be able to explore around the region itself. Admittedly, we are still technically in the same spot as where we left off, really, or started in the first look video, and it just happened to work out that way. I wanted to take a delivery kind of from a, different custom depot, and the one for the salt mine happened to work out very well. And this was on the list for coming to Avery Island, and I honestly completely forgot when I did the first look video that Avery Island was directly west of the depot we picked up from in the first time. So, you know what? That's okay. But we're heading, obviously, now more east. Well, I guess northwest first and then east later, to head over to New Orleans because of the road network. We're going to take more of a direct route there. Episodes to come following this video, we'll start to explore some of the other areas of the Louisiana DLC, moving away from, well, the areas we've been thus far. But eventually we'll touch on all the different cities. At least that is the goal, the more standard goal here when exploring a brand new DLC. And we'll get moving from there. Lots of different cargo types. Going to do some agricultural related things, special transports, got potentially some logging coming as well. Lots of great deliveries. Station wagon. Stay there, bud, please. Oh, good. We've actually discovered Lafayette. That is good. Sometimes annoyed when it doesn't want to discover a city for me when I show up in a general region. So it's nice that it does it eventually. Always take it. As I said, we're going to really branch out with some different things as well, which is great to see. Touch on some of the different areas so you can see what to expect with the Louisiana DLC for what you can explore and all the extra little details around the map. I will admit it's a bit of a challenge when you have something like a brand new DLC come in. So many opportunities for deliveries, and it's to try and figure out which ones am I going to, well, cover first, because there are so many different interests that I could touch on. There are so many different cargo combinations, special locations within this map DLC, that it's honestly a bit of a challenge to go through the list and say, I want to do this one first, I want to do this one next. So it's going to be dynamic. It's going to be based on what different feedback I get from you as well, especially moving forward. But I've been trying to hit some of the main custom depots and some of the different areas that have been at least talked about a little bit leading up to the release of the DLC. That way we can, well, see it for ourselves and, of course, experience some of the bigger name things right off the bat, and then find out all the nice little details leading a little bit later. Otherwise, for ATS, there is some exciting news because we actually got a little bit of, well, of an update, really, on the Project Road Trip module, more specifically with the Ford car pack, talking about the Crown Vic, or the Crown Victoria, that will be included within the DLC, which is fantastic because we always love to hear a little bit about Project Road Trip. Say what you want about the DLC, or the module, I should say, for the game. It is going to be really neat, and like it or not, it's going to unlock a lot of different opportunity for American Truck Simulator in various areas. So for those who may not be fully clear on how the Project Road Trip update or DLC will work, the module will be enabled whenever you purchase a specific car pack, whether that is the Ford car pack, the Dodge car pack, etc. That all unlocks whenever you purchase just one of those DLC, car pack DLCs. You do not need to own all of them. It's not one of those situations, fortunately. It's just simply one, and you get the module unlocked. How that will fully look, we still do not know. As of recording this video, the details on the module, what cargoes, if cargoes will be enabled for us to be able to haul around, what activities or so on to do, like the main gameplay function of Road Trip still isn't fully defined to my knowledge. There's obviously major concepts, but nothing, you know, set in stone, confirmed quite yet, at least in the public knowledge, or at least to my knowledge for that matter. So keep that in mind as we go through different conversations with Project Road Trip, but it's still the idea that we'll have licensed vehicles, standard civilian vehicles, to be able to drive around in the game, hopefully delivering some cargo. As far as I know, that's at least on the pickup side the plan, but again, we'll have to see how things develop. It's just great to see, in my view, and whether you want to pick it up or not, well, then you just have to decide. If you like a particular brand, get that car pack, and then you have access to Project Road Trip. You don't want to get any car pack, you don't have access to Project Road Trip then. It's pretty simple, my friends. It's not rocket science in that sense. But it's great to see that we have the Crown Vic talked about a little bit more. It was technically talked or confirmed in the initial confirmation of the Ford car pack, that the Bronco, the F-150, some other vehicles alike that will be included in that car pack. The Crown Vic, I believe, if I remember correctly, is the, well, basically all options of the Crown Vic will be from the 2006 model onwards, so I guess 2006 to 2012, if I do remember correctly. So the, well, last really of the generation of the last of the Crown Vic, which will be nice to have. Obviously a very, very classic Crown Victoria era. Well, quite a few cars made in that time. I think it was well over 1 million. So you know what, that is what it is now. We don't have to change lane, which is fantastic. We want to stay on the 10. So it's great to see a legend of a car really be confirmed for the car pack and get some extra information on it. It will be the civilian model as far as I am aware. However, it will have, well, some interceptor, some of the police interceptor styling available too. Some of the things that make it iconic in that sense should be there for the Project Road Trip version as well, which is, again, really neat. I saw in the screenshots for it, they had bright yellow, so if it was used for like a taxi, and then obviously other standard Crown Vic colors that were offered in that era as well. So it's going to be really cool. See how that one develops moving forward. But again, that's just one of many things here for ATS that we can look forward to. Obviously, we have Louisiana here. That's releasing in, again, depending on when you're watching this, a few days' time, or it's already out. We also have Illinois, we have South Dakota, and we also have British Columbia confirmed for ATS as well. That's just on the map side. Now we look to, again, different reworks. We have Route 66, and then we have some other potential reworks as well, in kind of looking ahead. And then what happens with trucks? Are we, you know, it's been long talked about now. Much of the community would love to see at least some, either a new Peterbilt truck or at least a refresh on the existing ones, even though really the existing trucks should just kind of get a little bit of a touch up, and then the new models of them should come in realistically. That would be fantastic. Again, when will we see that? It's hard to say. It is honestly hard to say, but it would be great to see nonetheless. And I am personally excited for the future of ATS. 2025 has been an absolute banger of a year for ATS and ATS2 for that matter, especially here on ATS. There's been so much content come out in 2025, and the year is still not done. Cruising Louisiana will be a community event that inevitably will be coming out with the DLC, so you'll have community event driving to do here at ATS. For those who own ETS2 as well, you have the Nordic Horizons cruising event that is going on as well. Most likely, there will also be a Christmas or holiday event in addition. So that's a lot of driving, my friends. So if you have the time, definitely keep an eye out for it, because there is a lot of content coming from me, and there's also a lot of driving content available for you as well. That is for certain. All right, let's take the exit here, and it's actually starting to rain a little bit. Would you look at that as we're hitting the evening here? ATS Bank. Well, I'm glad the bank is on my side. I don't happen to use it in this profile, but if I did, it's good to know that the ATS bank is on my side. You always like a bank that's on your side, even though most of them realistically aren't. But we won't get into that. All right, let's go ahead and get over here. Starting to rain pretty good, actually, so we'll get some wiper action moving. And we got to make a right-hand turn. Do not stop on tracks. Well, if the trucks keep moving, then I won't. Thank you. Actually, everyone's turning right here, which is fantastic. Oh, and it happens to be ATS Bank right there. And it is a great thing. Sorry, I'm ping-ponging here, but it's a great thing. I was able to get over the tracks there because it is, well, going ahead and dinging behind me all the way. Speaking about Peterbilt, here's a Peterbilt dealer over here. Well, how neat. Love to see it. Love to see it indeed. What a beautiful area here in New Orleans. Obviously more on the, I would say, outskirts of New Orleans itself. The map really does spread you out in many of these more urban areas. They've got, it's not as just one cluster like what they used to do from, well, a long time with the different cities. Often it was just, everything was clumped together and that was it. Now it's starting to really spread out a bit, which is great. And the scaling, obviously, of the cities, depending on the size of the city itself, that does help. But SA Software is putting some more industrial areas around and really trying to touch on the, well, the urban spread of these rural, or of these urban areas, sorry, that do happen in real life. And the fact that, you know, it makes the city feel bigger than what it actually is, what I'm getting at here in ATS. Yes, there's not as many city streets all the time for us to drive on, but at least if you could spread all the cargo points out, all the different delivery points, all the different industries, at least if that's all spread out, it feels a whole lot bigger than what it actually is. And that's what I appreciate. That's what I truly appreciate so far about the Louisiana DLC, is the attention to detail and also the design of the map itself and what has been included. I am very, very happy with what I'm seeing. All right. Let's deliver to our point here, which actually this looks very similar in design to where we picked up from, which does make sense. There are some similar assets, obviously, across the map, but most of these areas are custom and, to be honest with you, a flavor fair facility in one spot, especially for a distribution thing, would most likely be very similar on the other end as well. It's just the way that goes. So we need to figure out where we're actually going. I think I need to come this way a bit because there is something on the ground over there. Yeah, there's like a forklift there, which is, I guess, technically on the ground, but it's not like laying on its side on the ground, as in how I phrase that could be interpreted. I'm not gonna lie, friends. I'm doing my best to keep commentary flowing as best as I can. Just being myself, obviously, not trying to fake things. But I am on what has been a record-breaking run here on the channel for videos. And thanks to you for making that possible. But it is also testing my ability to tie videos together day in and day out, which I am very, very excited about on one hand. But it's also a pretty good mental workout, definitely, and a workout for the voice as well, I will admit that, because some of these videos are being recorded on the same day to each other. Just depends on availability, because, again, this is not a full-time position. Thank you all so much for watching this video. It was great to explore Avery Island and, of course, continue our delivery here to New Orleans. Comment down below what you think about the Louisiana DLC so far, and how excited are you to explore the DLC very, very soon, whenever it releases on December 4th, 2025. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.